they offer me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay.
If I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
An automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good.
But
I mean, an automobile was actually created before.
All right, folks, buckle up, because today's legal circus is next level. We've got yet another sovereign citizen trying to outsmart the system with the same old, tired tricks. This guy actually stands before the judge and, with a straight face, claims he wasn't driving. He was traveling. Seriously? We all know that's not how the law works. But hold on, it gets better. He starts rapid-firing legal buzzwords like he's unlocked some cheat code, acting like he's cracked the justice system wide open. Spoiler, he hasn't. And the judge? Way more patient than most of us would be. Maybe too patient. Should she have shut him down harder? Let's hear it. Drop your take in the comments. The next voice. Honestly, I cannot blame the judge and prosecutor for cracking up during this pre-hearing. This sovereign citizen's arguments are next-level ridiculous. It's wild that people still try this stuff, but seriously. How did he manage to say all that with a straight face? If I were the judge, I'd be handing out contempt charges like Halloween candy. What do you guys think of the prosecutor so far? Personally, I'm loving his reactions in this one. Drop your thoughts in the comments
Driving on a
and let's
suspended
dive
or
back in.
revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off. And no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020-03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I'll represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as locker term when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually show them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid, and you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first, so my
I believe
Georgia
this sounds like a not guilty.
Okay. So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't know.
Well, the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more.
I honestly don't get why the judge isn't shutting this sovereign citizen down. These guys should get maybe 30 seconds to talk before being cut off. Yet here we are, 20 minutes in, and he's still rambling. No wonder the court system is so backed up. Is this a hot take? Because I don't see many people calling it out. Judges should be way more firm. It's literally their job to keep things moving and shut down this time.
Fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay, now does the if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath,
Okay,
or
I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
Okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over. The
okay, so
highway.
that's not actually in the Constitution.
And
So
I
the
don't
right to
believe
the right
automobiles
to
were
travel.
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may
it said
have been a fact.
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So
so
an
let's
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
First off, just because something existed before a law was passed does not mean that law doesn't apply. That's like refusing to pay taxes because the IRS didn't exist when people first started making money. Completely ridiculous. This guy really tried to argue that since cars were invented before driver's licenses aren't constitutional. Seriously, it's not about when something was invented. It's about public safety and common sense. I honestly can't tell if he actually believes this or if he's just pretending. But let's be real. Driver's licenses are 100% constitutional. They exist to make sure people actually know the rules of the road. And come on, they're not hard to get or expensive.
vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's a murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you
you're
want them
not
to
you can't
interfere if
now
somebody.
if you murder somebody because of
Well, it's
sovereign
okay. Say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
no that because that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I mean,
an
automobile was actually.
Well, for today, at least. Pretty sure the judge issued a bench warrant after he stormed out like that. But don't worry, I've got you covered. I'll be posting an update on his second court appearance tomorrow, so stay tuned. Let's be real. This was just another sovereign citizen meltdown over a $2,000 fine. Newsflash. Claiming you were traveling instead of driving isn't some secret legal hack. The court isn't just going to forget about it. Honestly, I can't even keep ranting. This guy drained my last brain cell. Now, I'd want to hear from you. Was the judge too soft? Personally, I think so, but is that a hot take? Also, let me know if you're enjoying these reaction videos and want more. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Thanks for the support, and drop a comment if you got any wild court cases I should cover next.
License ever became. That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
And for
so
some
Mr.
reason,
Resto, do you want to resolve the case, because it's
I
not going
want
to
to
be
resolve the
40
case. But
hours of
I disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would
it,
pay I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation.
Mr.
But
Resto.
$2,000, that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? That can I be?
No,
Because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that
Well,
and count,
that's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys
Okay.
lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this
So,
case right now? I can do 1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Mr.
And
Mr. Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
what's on the table now, man?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on.
I'm telling you what to do, but
years.
you're not listening, Mr. Reston. Mr. Resto,
I mean, today, like, I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table. And then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me, because there's stuff I cannot do.
Okay. Just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off.